Your call has been. Your call has been forwarded.
Meet Rob Nelson, talk show host.
Because you got the 70s thing going there. I got someone's underwear.
Robert Kennedy, thanks for taking a minute. Simple question.
Tucker,
It's good to see you. Listen,
You're a Bitcoin maximalist. You're Bitcoin forever.
I hate this central bank digital currency.
hey, I don't have all the answers, but together, I know we can find them.
Down in competition in the ratings tab for late night weekend viewers.
Hey everybody, welcome to Rob Nelson Live. Happy Wednesday. So I think David Goxstein is going to join me in 15 minutes. I hope he is. We're going to talk a little about Bitcoin, what's going on. Just crossed up over 90. It's bouncing around that high 80s, low 90s. We'll talk about that. But I want to jump into, wow, what a dysfunctional time we live in. Wow. Just wow. And to the wow. You got a mass shooting at Bondi Beach in Australia, anti-Semitic, father and son who hate Jews, taking out people on the beginning of Hanukkah, the Festival of Lights. You got a Brown shooting at Brown University, and they don't even know how to catch the guy, right? The guy knew the campus, right? He went into a place where there weren't cameras. Like he went into a building without many cameras. Nobody sees his face. What if this guy gets away with it? What if this guy's the shooter who gets away with it? Like nobody knows what he looks like. That would be effed up. And you got Rob Reiner and Michelle Reiner getting stabbed to death by their own son, Nick. That's twisted. So twisted, killing your parents. I mean, I'll be honest. Killing your father's one thing. Killing your mom? I don't care what kind of argument you had with your dad. You stab him to death and you stab your mom too? 32 years old? Well, your life's effed. But what does that say? Good Lord, what are we? What kind of world are we living in right now? And there was another, I see him every day, like a murder, like the guy at MIT getting taken out, like by, who kills the professor at MIT? And then a murder-suicide in, I think it's Georgia, a sportscaster, murder-suicide with her husband. I'm guessing he was the one who did the murder and then the suicide, leaves the 3-year-old kid alive. We are in troubled times, my friends. Super troubled times. So Jake Tapper on CNN, I love and hate him. He's such a good journalist when he wants to be, but he's got such an agenda. So I'm going to start in with this Susie Wiles, the chief of staff interview. She does an interview in Vanity Fair. It takes about 6 or 8 months of, repeated conversations, all on tape. And she says a lot of stuff, which again, it's kind of why you get why she's so good at what she does. And remember, her dad was Pat Summerall, the sports guy, right? Pat Summerall was her dad, who was a totally avowed alcoholic, but a great sportscaster. She's Trump's chief of staff, the misogynist, hires a woman to run the whole operation. Right? Go figure. Jake Tapper points out that Michael Kinsley, who, if you remember, Michael Kinsley used to write for the New Republic way back. We're talking in the 80s, late 80s. And he said a gaffe is where a politician accidentally says something that's true. And Jake Tapper said, this interview was full of gaffes. I disagree. This interview was not full of gaffes. This interview was actually so true and revealing. Susie Wiles, the chief of staff of the Trump administration, called it as she saw it. She said, you know what? President Trump has an alcoholic personality. He's a guy who thinks, she's like, my dad was an alcoholic. I know what that personality is like. They think they can do anything. She didn't say Trump was an alcoholic. The guy doesn't drink. She's like, but he's got that similar personality. Thinks he can do anything. She threw J.D. Vance under the bus, said he's a conspiracy theorist, right? She took the head of OMB and was like, he's a right-wing zealot. The media's going crazy. Oh my God, we got her. We got the chief of staff. She's saying the truth. And I'm like, wow, you guys don't get it at all. First of all, wow. This just shows how disconnected these people are from what's actually going on. So, Susie Wiles says all these things, and they're so excited to reveal it and go, wow, we're going to put a wedge here. And now it's going to all blow up, and Trump's going to be like, she's horrible and kick her out, whatever. No, Trump's actually like, well, I'm just going to quote you what these people said. Are they circling the wagons? Yes and no. Yes, but no, because actually they don't care what she said. They're like, we love you. But I think privately they stepped aside and were like, hey, Susie, she probably was like, God, guys, I didn't mean to do that to any of you. Trump was probably like, welcome to the club, my friend. Welcome to the club of how they'll distort what you say. But Trump says, no. She meant it on, you see, I don't drink alcohol. So everybody knows that. But I've often said that if I did, I have a very good chance of being an alcoholic. So Susie Wiles, he has an alcoholic-like personality. He's not like, oh my God, she's crazy. He's like, no. He's like, honestly, I don't drink alcohol, but if I did, I'd probably be an alcoholic. I've said it many times about myself. I do. It's a very possessive personality. That's what Trump says. I've said many times about myself, I'm fortunate. I'm not a drinker. If I did, I could very well, because I've said that. What's the word? Not possessive. Possessive and addictive type personality. Oh, I've said it many times before. They so wanted Trump to go after Susie Wiles. He's like, no. Actually, she's right. I am that personality. I don't drink, but if I did, I'd be an alcoholic. My brother died because he was an alcoholic. I'd probably be that guy. She's not wrong. J.D. Vance, she says he's been a conspiracy theorist for a decade. She said Attorney General Pam Bondi completely whiffed with the release of the documents around Jeffrey Epstein. And she said Russell Vought, the OMB, Office of Management and Budget Director, is a, quote, a right-wing absolute zealot. And Elon Musk, she said, was an odd duck and an avowed ketamine user. Well, they went after her big time to try to go, oh my God. So here's what I want to say. She actually spoke truth. She said what she knew and saw was going on without being censored. They want to take her down. They're not going to take her down. You guys in the liberal media, Vanity Fair, you're not taking her down. Nobody in the White House is mad at her right now. She's probably like, God, guys, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I swear to God, Trump is probably like, welcome to the club. Like, they're not taking her down. Nothing she said was not true, and nothing she said was something she can't back up. Trump's like, yeah, I am like an alcoholic personality. I'm not an alcoholic. I don't drink. But if I did, yeah, I'd be that guy. She was saying, yeah, you know, that personality, which was my father, thinks they can do anything. That's Trump. He's like, yeah, that's me. JD Vance is like, yeah, I do. I am a conspiracy theorist guy. And she jokes with me about it. Yeah, I got a lot of conspiracy theories in my head. So do I. He said, sometimes I am a conspiracy theorist, but I only believe in the conspiracy theories that are true. That's me. I'm like, I believe in conspiracy theories too. You know, I've talked about the Kennedy thing. I'm like, right. I've talked to so many people in the Kennedy family. It's like they all know it wasn't one person. It's like, I believe in the conspiracy because it's true. Pam Bondi was like, you know what? Any attempt to undermine what we've done will fail. We are family. We are united. Did Susie Wiles think Pam Bondi whiffed on Epstein? Yeah. She's like, she didn't do it right. She's like, she said, I've got all the stuff on my desk. She's like, you don't have anything on your desk. She's like, there was no client list. You made that shit up. Is Pam Bondi a little embarrassed? Maybe. Is JD Vance embarrassed? Not at all. He's like, yeah, I do believe in conspiracies. The ones that are true. Is Trump mad? No, he's like, no, I am that guy. I am like an alcoholic personality, but I don't drink. Good thing for me. You guys can't throw her under the bus. She's literally driving the fucking train. They're all on board. Trump's on board. He's like, this woman is driving the fucking train. Yeah, me, Mr. Misogynist, I've got the woman that's going to run the whole operation. Is he mad? Not at all. I swear to God, the guy's not mad. I don't even know him. He's not mad. He probably feels bad for her. He's probably like, God, they got you. They got you like they try to get me. They're not backing away. They're not circling the wagons to protect themselves. She is the thing that's keeping the whole thing running. I'm guessing Trump's probably happy. Probably sad for her. He's like, God, you just got kind of tossed here. But you know what? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, girl. You're doing amazing. You're doing fucking fantastic. Love what you're doing. Keep doing it. I don't drink. But if I did, I'd be a total alcoholic. Like, God, Jake Tapper just gleefully trying to point out all the things she did and said wrong. Gleefully trying to do it. They don't get it. They don't get it. They don't get where most people are in this process. Let's try to fix that. See if we can put the mic back together before David joins me. David's here. He's in the background here. Well, let's see if this mic works. If it doesn't work, we'll just go a different route. We'll see. Eric, looks like it's working. These are interesting times if you think about it. But the mistake most of the mainstream media makes is they're looking for the gotcha. Oh my goodness. This mic is doing its own gotcha thing. This mic's got a mind of its own right now. David's going to have some comments about that. It's the super mic. All right, I'm going to bring him on in 2 minutes. They don't get it. The media doesn't get it. You can't do the gotcha anymore. People aren't into it. The truth is, Susie Wiles is probably the best thing that ever happened to Trump. And he knows it. He's like, next to Melania, you're probably the best thing that ever happened to me. Next to my kids and Melania, best thing ever. And Donald Trump Jr. is, engaged. His ex, Kimberly Guilfoyle, is, they broke up. Trump makes her an ambassador. Like, people, you got to get this. If you're on the left, if you're in the media on the left, you got to get this. You got to get that your gotcha stuff doesn't work. It's failing. People aren't interested in gotcha. They're interested in truth. Susie Wiles spoke truth. Total truth. Trump has an alcoholic-like personality. J.D. Vance believes in conspiracy theories. Russell Vought is a total right-wing zealot. And Pam Bondi whiffed on the Epstein stuff. I fucking love it. And they all just came out backing her. She's like the most trusted, most professional. Susie is the most trusted, most professional, and most effective chief of staff of my lifetime. That's Pete Hegseth, the Department of Defense or Department of War secretary. Scott Bessent, he said, Wiles, and remember, Scott Bessent's a billionaire. He's a really successful Wall Street trader who, irony, managed George Soros's funds, but that's a whole separate story. He said, she's the single most effective operator I've ever met. He didn't say single most effective chief of staff, single most effective operator I've ever met. He's like, this woman knows how to run shit. She can run the fucking president, and this guy can't be run. Trump's going to not throw her under the bus. He's like, are you kidding me? This woman's my lifeline. Well, I'll go to the end of the world for her. She can call me an alcoholic. I am. No, I don't drink. But yeah, if I did, that'd be me. I love the flailing attempts. All right. So it's 9:15, 8:15. Depends where you are. It is time for me to bring David Gokhshtein into this conversation. So hold on. Let me do this. Let me add David in. He's here. He's here in the wings. I'm bad at the tech, guys. I'm sorry. I see him. I see him there. Now I just have to get him in. I have to add him. There he is. There's the man, the legend, David Gokhshtein. Can you hear me, David?
I hear you. How's my mic sound?
You sound great. And I love that you're wearing like olive green, like you're like a forest right now. Oh, your mic just went away.
How's it sound right now? Am I studio mic right now, or am I PC mic?
Now I hear you. Do you hear me?
Let me go ahead and I hear you perfectly fine. Let me go ahead and test this because earlier today,
no, now
it was all
I hear
messed
you.
up.
Let me add David.
Hold on.
I hear you fine. In the wings. See, you're getting double me, David. You don't want two of me. I see him. I see him there.
I'm trying to
get him in. No, I heard you fine. I hear you fine. I hear you on your phone. I hear you on the feed. Can you hear me, David?
I hear you. How's my mic? Perfect. Okay.
You sound
great. You aren't lying.
All right. So you're looking a little Kim Joo-young for me, a little bit like I feel like we got Korea going on.
Zelensky? Maybe is Zelensky going?
Oh, you could have a little Zelensky. You could have a little Rocket Man.
I was kind of like looking at myself. I was going to put on the suit, but I was like, I'm running around and I'm like, you know what? Let me put on some swag because people know, everybody sees me with a tie and shit.
David, I'll be honest. You're a little Kim Jong-un and you're a little Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
A little Amish?
No, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh, God. Okay. Whatever. I'll take it.
Gene Wilder.
Love
Amish?
that guy.
I don't think so.
God bless him.
So, David, before we get into Bitcoin, let's take a second because you and I love politics. I just think the media misses the mark. I loved Susie Wiles' interview. I love that they're trying to throw her under the bus. And I'm like, wow, so refreshing. She calls Trump an alcoholic personality. She calls J.D. Vance a conspiracy theorist. She calls Russell Vought a right-wing zealot, and she says Pam Bondi totally whiffed on Epstein. Like, if I'm listening to that, I'm the average American, I'm like, wow. So this is the woman running the White House. She's being really honest with me right now. Trump's not lying. He's not like, oh my God, get rid of her. He's like, you know what? I am an alcoholic personality. Like, it's true. I don't drink, but if I did, that'd be me. Like, I don't think they get it. They're so excited to throw her under the bus. I'm like, people are like, oh. And the White House, they've got to love her. They've got to be like, my God, this woman's running the whole fucking ship right now. And again, her dad, Pat Summerall, great sportscaster, was an alcoholic. So she's like, yeah, I know that personality. I know how to work with these people. I just think they're missing the mark. I think they don't get what people really want.
It's liberal media. I mean, they think that they're going to come out with a hit piece and they're going to destroy the Republican Party. That it's not going to happen. And even independents, forget about Republicans, but even independents can see right through it. It's just like, at this point, I think like if you're not woke to everything that's happening in mainstream media, I don't know what to say at this point too. Like it is blatantly obvious what they're trying to do here, and that is divide and conquer. And obviously, liberal media is all about pushing the Democrats back into office, and it's something that I wanted to talk to you about. Like, what are the Democrats running on? This exact
What
thing.
are
Trump
they
is
running
bad.
on, David? What are
Trump
they
is
running
bad.
on?
Trump is bad. That's all they're doing. So here's a hit piece. Come on. Every Democrat is loving this, or anybody who hates Trump is loving this. You should know by now that Trump knows. He's a New Yorker, man. He knows how to handle himself. You think this is going to scare him? Is going to spook him? You think he's going to... This is what they were waiting for, that he's going to fire the chief of staff. He's not going to get rid of her. She's done a phenomenal job.
Because he's not going to get rid of her because he's like, I love her. He's like, and by the way, I love that he's like, but I am kind of like an alcoholic personality. He's like, it's true. I don't drink, but if I did, that would be me.
I mean, their first clue, Rob, should have been when Mandani came to the White House.
Yeah.
And he's standing there and they posed the question, well, you called him a fascist. Do you still stand by it? I'm paraphrasing. And he's like, before he even starts speaking, he's like, pats him on the back. He's like, don't worry. You can go ahead and say yes. Don't worry about it. Make it easier.
Right.
Do you not understand who Trump is? Do you still not get it? You guys have been covering him forever. Do you not understand his personality?
They don't, but David, hold on. David, they don't. And that's your point, right? He literally, Mandami tried to actually be diplomatic and be like, well, and what you said, Trump was like, don't worry about it, dude. Just go ahead and say it. Like, it's true what you think. Just say it. I'm good. Like, I've heard worse, and go ahead. It took the wind out of everyone's sails. It's your point. Do you not get who Trump is? He's like, no, it's fine. You think I'm a fascist? Okay, that's fine. Can we just accept that and move on? Like, I think the media was so excited for that moment. Like, Mandami calls him a fascist, and Mandami's trying to be diplomatic. Trump's like, don't fucking be diplomatic. You think I'm a fascist? All good. I've heard a lot worse. Like,
I loved it. I love the way he patted him on the back.
Right. And he did the pat, David. He did the pat. Like, I'm in charge. Pats him on the shoulder, sitting down when Tommy's standing. It's like, I'm in charge here, my friend. Don't you worry. Like, the power of that was so amazing. Like, to me, it was like, he doesn't stand up. He doesn't move. He literally pats him on the back. And it's like, it's okay. I've heard worse. Go ahead. Just say it. Say you think I'm a fascist. All good. Like,
I thought it was a great job. Honestly, when he did that, I thought it was a phenomenal job.
David,
and again, with the Susan piece, it's a hit piece. Just like everything else that liberal media comes out with. It's just a bunch of hit pieces. Are they ever going to give Trump any credit? I mean, look, do I agree with everything that Trump does? I'll even say this. Do I agree with the post that he put out on Truth Social? No, I don't think that was right.
About Rob Reiner?
Yeah, I don't think it was right for him to do that. Like, I'll say that.
Me too.
Others were cheering and saying, and they were, this is where you have to go ahead and say, you know what? I support Trump. I'm a MAGA guy, but like, and everybody knows I say that. I'm a MAGA guy. I support Trump. Make America great again. I'm all for that. But that's the 10% that I tell you that I don't agree with. And
Right.
Here you have a guy, yeah, he came out with tweets and he said this, despicable things about Trump, but Trump's the president. That's the difference. You have a guy who was an actor and a producer. Trump's the president. He has to take the higher road.
Right.
No matter what people have done to him, he had to take the higher road there. But
he did.
he came out that tweet, and I was like, this ain't right. This is not the way he's supposed to go about it.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Rocket Man Gockstein. David, you are Rocket Man right now. You are Kim Jong-un. I feel like we're North Korea. You're gonna show me the next ballistic missile. You're gonna try to aim at the US. You got the green thing on, the tight neck. You're a Rocket Man. You're like, you're like the next version. Or maybe you're going to Mars on Elon's next shuttle,
I'll pass on Mars. You won't survive there for 5 days, but
come on, David, hold on. Give you the option. You go to Mars, you get on the ship, and you never come back, right? Because if you go to Mars on this trip, you ain't coming back, right? It's a one-way trip. I'm not saying you die. I'm just saying you die out on Mars, right? You don't come back. Do you take the trip to Mars, or do you stay here on Earth? You got 40, 50 years left. Mars is like a one-way journey. Do you take the one-way journey and go, I'll be the Mars explorer, or do you go, no, I stay on Earth?
No, I'm staying here. Fuck that.
Really?
Why am I dying from radiation? And like,
no,
crazy.
You don't die in radiation. You just die on Mars. Like, like you're
but like
Mars.
You gotta survive. Either you gotta, by that time you come to Mars, there have to be like, somebody, I forgot who said this. I think it was Charles from Cardano. He said, like, why do you think like he's doing all these things? Like, why do you think Elon is out here like building, EVs, and why does he have the Boring Company where they're drilling tunnels underneath the surface, right? It's just like he's literally doing all these things because like he's preparing for Mars, right? Like if you think about it, SpaceX, Tesla, solar energy, he's preparing to go to Mars, and like you're not going to survive on the surface.
You don't go to Mars, seriously? I go to Mars, David. I'm on the ship. Put me out there. I'll die out on Mars. Like, it's a great adventure.
I'm trying. Hold on one second. I'm just trying to fix my sound. I don't know what's going on with it. Do you hear me now or no?
About my sound. You sound great. All right. Let's talk. You sound fantastic. By the way, it's good to see you. You look good. Let's talk a little crypto.
Just give me 1 second. I'm trying to. Oh my god, I don't know what's going on.
You sound fine. Your audio's fine.
No, you know what it is? Like the sound is just completely off on my part, but that's fine. It's me.
But not here. So let's talk crypto. So I'll set this up. Do you know Reeve Collins, one of the co-founders of Tether?
Of course, yeah.
So Reeve texted me the other day. I didn't see it till yesterday. It was like, hey, I want to connect. Let's talk about some ideas, right? So I'm thinking, the crypto space is going through a transition, David. I think it's going to the next level where the founders, the creators of a lot of this technology are kind of going, what's next? Whether they Ethereum, whether it's Tether, whether it's the Brock Pierces, you're not a founder, but you're early in the space. I'm way behind all of you. But I feel like we are entering a new era around this, which combines with AI, the kind of technology of all that. And underneath it all is Bitcoin, which, it is, my nephew texted me. He's like, I bought Bitcoin and now it's down. And I'm like, well, you're fine. But this is where I come back to you and go, people panic. And I think it's over 90 today, right? I think it's bouncing back up. But it was what, 88?
Well, I think
89 yesterday.
Manipulation ever happened today, and I was really, really, really disappointed because
what happened?
We went to 90,000, and within like a few minutes, we were back at basically 85, 86, and I was like, man, talk about crime season. Like this is disgusting. And I went on to my show today. I was just absolutely disgusted. I'm like, it looked like a meme coin. Like it looked like a meme coin that just got off of a pump.fun launch pad. And that was only 15 minutes into its life cycle. And it just dumps like that, and I'm just like, man, this is disgusting behavior, man. You would have thought that Bitcoin was some sort of meme token, today, this morning.
So what do you think that is? What do you think, to the average person out there, what is going on? I mean, obviously there's institutional players that can make a difference. There's some big whales. I mean, again, I know your view long term, as is mine, is Bitcoin will be fine. But what do you think is creating such enormous short-term volatility? I mean, you're talking in an hour, less than an hour, half an hour of massive volatility. Long term, as is mine, is
I'll say that you have a lot of people. Number one, you have market manipulation. That's 100%. That was visible today. Like, if there was a day for it to be visible, it was today. And it was disgusting. And you knew it was either institutional players, market makers. Wintermute definitely 100% is involved. I'll speculate. I'll say speculation. But to me, from everything that's been posted, from all the on-chain sleuths that put stuff out there, it all pointed to them and others. And really despicable display. This is an industry we're building out here. We're proud to build out this industry. We're proud to talk about it. And here we are, eating at it. It was absolutely, honestly, like, I saw it today, I was livid. Because, like, how is anybody going to take this space seriously? We want millionaires to come in here. We want billionaires to come in here. And then you have this fuckery. No, like, if I'm a millionaire, if I'm a billionaire, and I've never participated in the crypto market, and I look and see what's happening or what's happened today, I'm staying out of it. I'm saying I'm taking my money. I'm going to invest in the SpaceX IPO. I'll go into Tesla. I'll get some Amazon, but I ain't touching this. I don't give a shit what you say about Bitcoin. I don't care what you say about this entire ecosystem. I'm not going in. As for the people that are down or might be down, or they're shook about the markets, shut the fuck up. Like, at some point, like, what you came into. If you went into Bitcoin, then you have nothing to worry about. What are you worried about? You have every single person coming out here telling you that it's a generational asset. They will keep accumulating Bitcoin. So what are you worried about? If you're looking for short-term gains, that's the only reason you would be worried. Long-term wise, I'm not worried. I'm trying to figure out how I buy more. In 2024, I came on to your program. And while
on the street, yep.
You remember when you were on the street and you were broadcasting there, and I came on, had the privilege to come on, everybody's panicking, and I said, yo, we're going past 85,000. It happened. Every smart money's buying, whether you're in retail or whether you're an institutional player, hedge fund, whatever, they're buying. Are some Bitcoiners selling? I think some of them sold already. They're selling. There's liquidity. They're selling. They're taking profits. Good for them. They should. They waited a long time to do it. 7-8 years they waited to go ahead and sell into the market. They're doing it respectfully. They could have done it when there was no liquidity, but they're doing it when there is liquidity in Bitcoin. So good for them. Good for them. You know what that does? It gives everybody an opportunity. So if somebody sells one Bitcoin, 10 people can buy into that one Bitcoin. That's perfect. You need that. It's healthy. You can't keep on going straight up. Yeah. Will I agree with this? Has this been one of the most fucked up bull markets of all time? Yes. This has been absolutely one of the worst cycles of all time. But maybe, like I keep on saying, maybe we came too early. Maybe we're coming out of a bear market. How about we sit back and think about that? Maybe we're just coming out of a bear market. We had Bitcoin that made all-time high before the halvening. Like, every single person that I'm talking to that I believe is smarter than me, 100%, they're confused. They're looking at this as like, okay, maybe we came too early. Maybe we came too early. We're in the pregame show. Q1, all I'm hearing right now is Q1 2026. With the stimulus checks, QE in play, rake, everything that you want to pile in. That's all coming. Well, when we haven't seen retail come in, retail hasn't been here. Just because one or two of your friends called in doesn't. When you have over 10 people calling your phone and asking you, should I get in? That's when you know retail is here. That hasn't happened. Where's retail? Retail hasn't been. Retail's broke. Retail, $1.24 trillion consumer credit card debt. Retail is broke. They're too busy paying off the credit cards. They're trying to catch up to their rent. They're paying for bills. They're not interested in any market. Not a single market. So when people talk about market this, market that, I'm just like, we hit the top. But you have Kathy Wood comes out and says that there's no 4-year cycle. You have institutional, literally, I've interviewed people that have come onto the show, Rob. There's no 4-year cycle. 8 out of 10 people that I asked that question to, they go, there's no 4-year cycle.
I get it. I agree. I don't think there is anymore. I think the cycles are wrong. So I think you're right. I think people have based it on the past couple cycles, and Bitcoin was a very different thing then. It didn't have institutional investment. It was a whole different, again, apologies to the maximalists, but Bitcoin's not going to become the universal currency that solves all of the world's problems and creates world peace. It's going to be an asset that plays in a broad marketplace. And I think it probably takes time to develop. But that said, David, you're right. People looking at it. I talked to a guy today, a big financial, investment guy, raises a lot of money. He's like, Rob, I don't want to put money in Bitcoin. He's like, it seems insane to me right now. To your point, right? So what stabilizes it into the next year, right? Is it Q2, Q3? I mean, we both know Bitcoin will hit 150,000 sometime next year, right? It's not going to. He was like, what if it goes to 20? I'm like, it's not going to 20. It's just not happening.
I honestly think if you're not buying right now, you're just crazy. I don't care if it's at 85, 86,000 right now and it goes down to 74 or 65, whatever these people are predicting, good. DCA. Because it's going to absolutely rocket. There's nothing that's going to stop Bitcoin from going up. Like if we have to wait 3 to 4 or 5 months to go ahead and see that happen, that's fine. That is totally fine. Today, obviously, when big money is looking, right? If today was the day that somebody was looking to say, you know what, I'm interested in buying a Bitcoin. This is a day where, like somebody looks at the chart like, what the fuck is this? Because it was you got to look at the chart. Rob, it was a what the fuck moment. For me personally, to get me to go ahead and say what the fuck on Bitcoin is crazy. I looked at it, I was like, this is absolutely manipulated. This is absolute garbage. And it's the big players. It is definitely the big players. And I want to know who the fuck dumped on October 10th. Who went ahead and knew to dump on October 10th?
Hold on. Who do you think? What's your guess? Because
I have plenty.
Somebody with a whole lot of Bitcoin made a dump. Was it an institutional player or was it a whale from old school?
I think it's institutional. I don't believe it's old school whale. I don't believe that. I can't believe that. I believe it was a bunch of people here. This is what I'm saying. Like our own industry, our own ecosystem, instead of finding a way to build this out, new levels, well, only 7-8% in globally where people are into crypto. Stock market's doing great. Equities are doing great. Everywhere you look, crypto's lagging. This is what you do? This is what you fucking do? On October 10th, you go ahead and like literally take out the legs of this market? You should be ashamed of yourselves, honestly. And it's the big players. It's not there's somebody holding like 5,000 Bitcoin. They're not going to do this kind of damage. They knew exactly what they were going to do. And they knew what was going to come from that.
And David, Is your belief they did it to push the price down so they could buy in at the? And that would be my instinct. They wanted to push it down so they could buy in low. I even think like the Black Rocks, whatever. Like they're like, we got a lot of retail to sell. Let's get the price down, buy in, and then sell as it goes up because we can afford to take the hit. We don't care. Is that what you think it was?
The whole thing is that you can't pinpoint it on like BlackRock, right? Because you can't figure it out, right? Like it could have been, right? All these institutional players want to get in at a cheaper price, 100%. Funny how Vanguard all of a sudden is allowing all their customers to get into crypto. Every single one of their customers can now get into crypto. Let's think about this. This is not tinfoil hat shit. This is real. They come out and say, all right, come on in. Then you have Bank of America, 4% of your portfolio to their customers. 4% of your portfolio should be in crypto to their customers. And then you have Chase. Chase is in the game. And then you have Jamie Dimon that is speaking positive. Positive.
Right.
So you're going to tell me this was some dormant wallet that woke up and decided to sell one day? No. This was absolute dog shit.
Yeah.
Manipulation at its finest. And
by the way, I just want to say, I felt for a long time, Jamie Dimon has been talking out of both sides of his mouth. He shot it down. He talked it down while he was also buying it up. And he knew the whole time, right? I mean, Jamie Dimon isn't stupid. He knew the value of Bitcoin. He knew the value of this space, but he, for whatever reason, wanted to downplay it publicly while, his bank was buying it up, right? I mean, it's like, oh, okay, like he was in on it the whole time. Like it's a total manipulation.
To me, nobody's going to tell me otherwise. Jamie Dimon was in for a very long time. These are people that like money. They're not going to miss out on money. Anybody who says they're not in Bitcoin, they have Bitcoin. It's easier to destroy Bitcoin and get engagement versus being positive about it, right? Like you come on here and say something negative about Bitcoin, I guarantee you're going to have a lot more engagement than you are if you're positive about it. It's just, that's what it is. Plain and simple. Again, I'm disgusted with 1010. 2025, and I'm disgusted with what happened today. But that does not mean that Bitcoin isn't a valuable asset. I still believe Wintermute, one of the biggest market makers out here, they got caught with their pants down. They're trying to make up money. This entire thing also caught a lot of major players off guard as well. So you have a lot of them that are now trying to make up ground and stuff. But what is this for retail? Everybody begs, oh, I wish the price, man, when the price was $126,000, you had people saying, oh, man, I wish I would have bought it at 75.
Right, and 80. Now you could. Now you can buy it at 85, 86, 87, right. 89.
So don't be a bitch now. And that's not gender, that's not gender specific. I'm just saying don't be a bitch now. Don't bitch out. You were talking a good game, like if it went to 80,000, I'd buy. Well, welcome. It's at 85. What are you waiting for? 86. What are you waiting for? Because sooner or later, it's never going to be at these levels again. It's going to be averaging 200,000, 300,000. When you have institutions literally telling you that they have not put in any sort of real money into this market. When you still have people who are trading in equity, whatever it is, that haven't even taken profits and poured it into crypto, what are you waiting for? What is this? What is the signal that you're waiting for? I think Q1 2026. I think month 2, 3, you'll see, a real burst. That leg that everybody's been waiting for. I believe that. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That's fine. But like at the end of the day, I believe it. It all points there. It's pointing there.
Yeah, I agree. Ladies and gentlemen, Fidel Castro. I've decided you're not Rocket Man. You're Fidel Castro in the green.
Should be a socialist. I mean,
would Fidel Castro have bought Bitcoin? Absolutely. He would have stacked the Cuban treasury with Bitcoin.
It's true. Look, you have Michael Saylor continues to buy Bitcoin. Every single. You got Tom Lee. He's buying Ethereum every single week. You got all sorts of people just buying Bitcoin, Ethereum. Everybody's down on Ethereum, but like they just made an excellent upgrade to their network. Guys, I'm telling you, this entire run has been all institutional. It's all been about Bitcoin. It hasn't been about anything else but Bitcoin. Just look at it. Look at Bitcoin compared to everything else and how it's performed. Everything else has performed like dog shit. It absolutely has. It hasn't performed. It hasn't even performed. It went up a little bit. It broke. Some of them broke all-time highs and then just went back. That's not a run. We came in early and there's a reset. I believe that in my heart. There's a reset. I don't know if they're right about, hey, there's a 5-year cycle now, or whether there's a 6-year cycle now, whether there's no cycle now. I just know that this is an early opportunity for anybody who has money that wants to actually obtain real value.
Yeah. And if you have it, hold on to it. You know, by the way, I think our friend Peter Schiff now has Bitcoin. I think he's bought some.
He was on my show.
Yeah, I know. I
We
think
were
Peter's
battling for
got,
an hour.
you know,
Back and
if you
forth.
can make Peter Schiff a believer in buying a little Bitcoin,
I almost did.
he's got it. He's stockpiling it in the background. He won't admit it yet.
Peter can say whatever he wants. I think he's a great guy. I think I really do. I came out of the conversation. I think Peter's a great guy. I have everybody's entitled to their view. You know, everybody's like, if he wants to come out here and say that Bitcoin is worthless, that's fine. It's his personal opinion. Doesn't make him a bad guy. He's just stuck on gold. He's stuck on gold. He's a gold bug. Can't do nothing about it. But you know what? I know a lot of people that have both Bitcoin and gold. Nothing wrong.
I'm telling you, I think Peter Schiff has Bitcoin tucked away in his Dorado accounts.
That's funny. That is funny.
I think he's got it tucked away. I think he knows. He's got enough Bitcoin friends. David Gockstein, so much fun to have you on. I wish you'd come on like every other week because it's so much fun to have you on to talk about this stuff.
Well, invite me.
Well, you're invited. You have a open invitation. I'll bug you every week to come on. You can dress as Kim Jong-un. You can dress as Che Guevara. You can dress as Fidel Castro. Heck.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just want this to be on record that this man has told me not to wear a suit on multiple invites onto his show. And then the day that I come on without a suit, here he is trying to figure out, who do I look like? Fidel Castro, Zelensky, we could name it all out right now. And he told me to just be you, man. Be you. And that's who I am right now. I'm being.
All right. All I'm going to say is people can vote Fidel Castro, Zelensky, or pick Che Guevara, or
I'll take Che.
Or Rocket Man.
Maybe I just have to.
David, so much fun to have you on.
Yeah.
Seriously, it's such a great conversation with you every time.
Got to hit on the politics, man. Got to hit on the politics as well, man. Disappointing with what happened in Australia. Disappointing what happened in at Brown. It's a lot of people are out here talking about getting rid of the Second Amendment, tougher gun controls on who? The good people.
Right.
You want tougher gun controls on the good people, not realizing and understanding that bad people will find ways to do bad things. They will find guns illegally. There are illegal arms dealers out here, okay? And you're talking about taking away guns or the Second Amendment from people that want to go ahead and protect themselves. Think about what you're saying, okay? I know it's all about party affiliation. God forbid we go ahead and go against the party, but that's the truth. The Second Amendment protects everybody, regardless of party affiliation.
Here's what I would say about that, David. First of all, I've said for a long time, the Second Amendment actually gave people, I think people miss this. And, I've said, watch Ken Burns' documentary if you can get through 12 hours of boring narrative. But the reason they wanted people to have guns was so they could form militias, which, again, the Patriots formed militias to deal with the indigenous people, right? That's how they beat the British. The only reason they won was because they had militias with guns. The founders were smart. They're like, you need guns so that you can form militias. So if the government gets out of control, you can take them down. Now, obviously, we know guns aren't going to take down the government anymore. You would need tanks, ballistic missiles, aircraft, all kinds of stuff. But that premise was always built in, which is the right to protect yourself against oppression. And the idea that people have guns, they commit crimes. It's like, well, Chicago has the toughest gun laws in America, and people shoot each other up all the time in the inner cities. Like, guns, you can get a gun, you can kill someone, you can drive a car into people. Like, I think we missed the bigger picture, which is it's not about the gun, it's about the mindset that we're in, and we are in a pretty dysfunctional mindset where people decide it's appropriate to just shoot people up. You ran me off the road, I'm mad at you, I'll shoot you in your car with your kids. I don't care.
Correct.
Like, that's what's scary, not the gun. The gun to me is not scary. The mindset's scary.
The founding fathers also had the same thing. You said something about jets and all these weapons that that the United States of America has. That was the same thing that was told to the founding fathers. Look at the army that the UK or England has. You're not gonna really go ahead and do much, and I guess they won here. So the Second Amendment, it's very important. You made a great point, and I think a lot of people don't understand history. They don't read. They just see whatever is said on mainstream media. But that's why you have these kind of shows. That's why you have these kind of shows where, listen, you don't have to agree with everything that's said here, but at least you'll get somebody's honest opinion on the topic. That's it. That's all you really want, an honest opinion, not scripted, not slid in before the broadcast starts. Here, this is what we'll talk about tonight.
Yeah, or after. Not before or after, during.
This is a critical time in this country. I'll say that. Whether people want to believe that or not, this is a very critical time in this country.
I think it's a critical time in the world. I think we are at a technological, political, social divide. David, I've said it. I think we are so close to a civil war in this country. It's not funny. Right now, that would be political. It might be ideological at the moment. It could actually turn into people literally being like, we're separating ourselves. It's not crazy to imagine that you could get to that point. Like, we are at the most divisive time in the world we've ever been in. And it's also at the most evolutionary technology time. So it's kind of like it's a Pandora's box. It's what we do with it.
Yeah. The last thing I'll say is that saw a video today while scrolling the timeline, and I see a guy post a video up. He had a tight ass shirt. I think he should have brought out scissors and just, cut the shirt because it looked like his body was screaming. But he's recording a video saying, I celebrated when Charlie Kirk got assassinated. Again, that's somebody else that said that, not me. And then he's like, I can't wait until the same thing happens to the president of the United States of America. Like, people are sick and deranged. Like, to even utter those words, to have that kind of hatred because your party line has a certain narrative and message, you need therapy. This country is suffering from mental illness. And I don't think people it is real. It is real. When you have a lot of this hate speech, which it is, when you're calling Trump a fascist, when you're using this type of language, okay, to try to win a point where you guys, and I'm going to say it, Democrats have no point. They haven't presented anything in the last year. All it's been is Trump bad, Trump bad, Trump bad. That's doing nothing for the American people, and that's not doing anything for any Democrat, okay, that is trying to live, not even survive, just live here. You
Yeah.
guys are just obsessed with Trump. Obsessed. Okay? You don't have to like his personality. You don't have to like it. But you know what? The economy and America is slowly turning around. Okay? It's
Yeah.
not like nobody, doesn't matter who could have been, could have walked into the Oval Office and in a year's time do this.
Yeah. And I think also on that point, David, you don't have to like all his policies. I'm not a fan of the extreme deportation policies they're doing. I get why it happened. I said years ago, this is what's going to happen. The boomerang will come around. You don't have to like everything he does, but the reality is, in 2 years, he's not going to be president. He's not going to stay in office for the next decade. He's going to be gone. There'll be a new president. Our republic, our constitution is pretty robust. And when I see people do what you're saying, call him Hitler, he's not Hitler. I'm sorry. He's just not Hitler. He's not a fascist and he's not Hitler. Fascists don't welcome interviews with the New York Times who's going to trash him. I'm sick of the comparisons because they undercut how bad a Hitler was, and they don't recognize how we're in such a different time. Yes, you don't have to like Trump. It's fine. We'll have a new president in a couple of years. Pick a new one. Pick one you like better if that's what you want.
I think the biggest problem right now is people need to look at what's happening within the Republican Party. Because ever since Charlie Kirk, got assassinated, it feels like these influencers, it's become fractured.
Yeah.
Charlie Kirk was I don't think he was appreciated enough. The way he was, listen, without Charlie Kirk, I don't even think I really believe Charlie Kirk played a huge part, along with others, into getting President Trump back in office.
Of course he did.
So not having him around, now you have a gap here where people aren't speaking to 18 to 35-year-olds. And now you have these, influencers within the Republican Party that are fighting. Some support Israel, some don't. Now it's foreign entity. The whole thing, America First, they're trying to push Nick Fuentes out there. You have, obviously, what's her name?
Candace Owens.
She's coming out, saying her. It's so fucked up right now. If they don't get it together, they're gonna lose the midterms. I'm telling you right now, and that's it. And Trump's fucked. He's not gonna get anything passed. They're gonna vote no on everything.
Yep.
So
you're right.
He's gonna have two choices. He's gonna have to convince his boys to get rid of the filibuster, so he can get these things passed.
Don't get me started on that, David. Don't get me started on why
because the Democrats are going to do it. When the Democrats, they're going
to wipe the filibuster out in 5 minutes. If they win the midterms, the filibuster is gone in a month.
I'm telling you, the filibuster, you're going to see. Plus, by the way, also on a crypto topic, because nobody mentions this, January 31st, they have a deadline. Congress again could shut down the government.
Yes.
And nobody's talking about it. And that's also sidelining a lot of money from coming into the markets.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, well, wait. Let's see what happens here.
Yep.
So you have a lot of things happening. Unfortunately, not a lot of these people aren't working for the American people. Let's just call it for what it is. They should get if they close down the government, they should get no salary and they should be penalized every day.
No, I'm going further. They should literally, if they close down the government, they should all take a voluntary decision to not seek re-election and let new people come in who can keep the fucking government working.
Or put in a law like that if you shut down the government, if you're in support of shutting down the government, you automatically can't get re-elected for said seat.
Yep.
Perfect. We won't have that shit anymore. You know why? Because all these son of a bitches, they don't want to be a president. They don't want to be a vice president. They like their positions. They can stay in their positions for the next 40, 50 years and pull a Nancy Pelosi. Okay?
Yep.
They'll make more money sitting in their little positions as in the House of Representatives or in the Senate, and they'll make $150 to $200 million, okay? which to me it's what is it, 174 per year? How does it get to 300 million?
Right.
Best traders in the world. I gotta follow Nancy Pelosi. Nancy
Right.
Pelosi should be selling courses, if
She
anything.
made more fucking money. That woman. She fucking worked. She's gamed the system. David, I love having you on. I would like you to come on once a week, once every 2 weeks. I'll put you on blast right here to ask you to come on every couple weeks with me.
I'm here.
You can dress however you want. Suits,
Oh my
ties,
God. This is
Kim Jong-un. You
this is
can
like
go
a-
Rocket Man.
$300-400. I don't know. Like I got to look at the price tag. This is made from Cambodian. I don't know. Look it up. It's made from-
I'm gonna make you come on my show every other week.
Okay, I'm down. I don't really care.
I love it. We'll talk politics. We'll talk Bitcoin. We'll talk crypto. I love the politics. I so love having you on. It's so much fun to talk to you. Always has been.
I appreciate it. Thank you for bringing me on.
Thanks, David. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see ya.
Meet Rob Nelson, talk show host.
Because you got the 70s thing going there. I got someone's underwear.
Robert Kennedy, thanks for taking a minute. Simple question.
Tucker?
It's good to see you. Listen,
If you're a Bitcoin maximalist, you're Bitcoin forever.
I hate this central bank digital currency.